Uphethe isibongo sakaMlefe, abantu bakwaMlefe amaTswana. Uphinde uphethe igama isibongo futhi seXhosa, samaXhosa, Fani.
Udigela, thank you.
UngumXhosa.
Tatam ngumXhosa.
Uyathetha.
Yathetha 80%.
Hayi asike sithethe okukhomsha manje hey. Ngiphathi kakuhle. Nansi yabona ndinengqimi yabona. Nansi ingqimi apha kum. Asithethishe mfondini. Into ithi data apha kum. If not to get somebody
Honorable Chair, either
maybe
English
lie
or
to us or
Afrikaans.
omit certain things.
Correct.
And on that note, Chair, I would like to address you, Chair, if I may be permitted. You normally open, Chair, and say people who speak here are protected by their parliament privileges and stuff like that. You also say anything they say cannot be used against them. I notice AfriForum has these Paulo Sullivan tendencies of threatening people. They say they're going to open a case against Unkabi. So, Chair, I need you to help me on that one. Uti, what does that really mean when we say whatever we say here cannot be used against you? Because it doesn't help our people like General Fani. You be afraid to kuluma la ngoba so kulumi qiniso manje. General, do you know about a blue light case signed between SCM division and a company in Gauteng province for the supply of blue lights and siren for the police vehicles in Gauteng around November 2016?
The case was in the media, and I am aware of that case.
Were you briefed internally?
Come again?
Were you briefed internally in the division?
In the division,
Yes.
supply chain.
Yes.
Not briefed per se,
But you know about
but I know about the case.
What processes were followed in the awarding of that contract for the blue light in Gauteng?
The procurement process has changed since I came in as a result of the court ruling that indicated that the finance minister has overreached his accountability or authority. The processes that were prevalent at that time are unknown to me, so I cannot vouch to them.
But do you know that there were any irregularities in awarding of that contract?
It has been indicated in the media that it was irregular, hence the people were arrested. I am aware of it.
Just what you know, what are those, if you may enlighten me?
The outcome of that had indicated that the people behaved unethically in the award of the tender, and those people were charged. Some of them were in procurement. When I got there, they were transferred out of the department, and I stayed with the vacancies as a result of those transfers. And some of them were discharged in service, and that's as far as I know with regards to that matter.
Do you happen to know how long ago, maybe?
You had indicated it was 2018.
2016?
And yeah.
2016.
But I do know
From
about it.
2016.
Yes.
And the matter has not been resolved till now.
The matter has not been resolved.
Wouldn't you suspect something is wrong there? Why do we take so long to, if there is something that is corrupt, why do we take so long to get to the gist of the matter or understand who was wrong and get that matter finalized?
Once the matter goes to litigation, the matter is then handled by Legal Services Litigation Department. They are dealing with that matter on behalf of South African Police Service.
Are you saying to me that there is no way to really tell whether there was corruption done there, or it's just a thumb-sucking issue, or you can just take a chance? Or is it a way of victimizing black business people?
Honorable Chair, I would not vouch that there was corruption. In fact, Honorable Chair, I would even indicate that I am not privy to the documentation that led to the charges and the dismissal of the people. I am aware, though, that such a matter is still in court.
You know, this business person once complained that, in fact, it's a popular knowledge that regarding this case, there were no white or Indian or any race except for a black person who was targeted for this matter. And there were allegations that there was money being solicited from him in a way. For example, the two cases that Mr. Sissoko, the two dockets that Mr. Sissoko took when he was at IPIT, he still has them at IDEC, the two cases of that matter. Since I've told you about that matter, what are you going to do about it to help our black business people who are being targeted for having huge tenders?
The requirement for making sure that the procurement process is fair and equitable rests with me. That's why I have indicated earlier on that if we knew at the time of the evaluation and adjudication that Kate Matlala's had controversial issues, we would have evaluated the tender and only subjected to legal services had he been the winner of the tender. So that on its own is to ensure that the procurement process is fair and that any irregularities we deal with in terms of the support that we get from legal services to make sure that the exclusion or the reason for deviation from awarding the Medicare 24 would have been justifiable. That is to ensure that the process is fair in terms of what we are doing. And I'm also making sure when we do the bid specifications and stuff, that the issues of competition commission are put into the process so that we do not have specifications that run perpetually favoring one supplier. I have questioned a number of suppliers in the process, and I have ensured in the process that extension of suppliers nilly-willy is not happening in the South African police services as one way of making sure that there's fairness in the process.
Okay. What is the role of the accounting officer in awarding this of such a contract?
The accounting officer's responsibility is he has delegated his responsibility, but he gets briefed. The briefing that I have with him when I go for my performance, I would bring a sheet that indicates these are the tenders that are awarded. These are the tenders where there were deviations. This is the information pertaining to the function of my portfolio in that. He would then take note of that. It in fact becomes portfolio of evidence for my performance to his office.
Who signed this contract?
The tender awards.
Yes.
I'm duly delegated to sign the contracts after the bid adjudication committee has approved the award of a tender.
Was there any investigation on any irregularities of any sort of this matter?
Of
this matter, was there any investigation on the irregularities?
For MediHealth specifically?
No. This one, I'm to the blue light one. I'm specific on the blue light.
Was there any investigations?
Yes.
I would love to believe. I cannot vouch for that. It happened way before I came.
You never followed on this matter?
No, I never.
But it's still in court now under your department. Do you know that? I'm saying it's still in court under your department right now. You know that, right?
The matter is now with legal services, the litigation department, and not with me.
So how would a commissioner be related to signing or being part of tenders? How do they link? If tenders are on your department or at your office, how do they link? Explain that to me.
Which commissioner? National commissioner?
Yeah, national commissioner.
No, he doesn't.
In this regard, Patlani, would you link how does it happen? If there is a...
I have indicated, Honorable Chair, I'm not privy to the tender process that took place at the time.
In general, the current commissioner, if he was said to be involved in awarding tenders or something, where and how would they be linked? Do they have a role to play?
The national commissioner. The national commissioner, if he had not delegated the award of the tender, he will get involved in the awarding of the contract, but he would have been advised or have received a report from bid adjudication committee that recommends and give him a report. But if he had delegated the responsibilities to the bid adjudication committee, he would have no role to play.
Okay.
Unless, if I may, Chair, unless there is any document in the process that suggests otherwise, which I'm not privy to.
Okay, I'm interested in this. I wish you knew isiXhosa ke mntakababa, but you said 80%. Please reply to with this isiXhosa so that I can hear you kahle kahle. Are you saying in your tenure as a leadership lab, corruption and such matters of amatenda issues are wrong and stuff like that? There's never happened. Kuhlale kuclean nje, kuhle kakhulu. Since when-
ESAPs,
Yes, since uphethe wena.
the what we call in terms of the framework that is published by National Treasury, the determination test has to be done. And if the determination test pick up issues of corruption,
Yeah.
we will discipline. In fact, we open a case if such has happened. The determination tests that are there suggested that we need to discipline people for irregularities, and those processes are underway at the moment.
So in this tender yabo Kate Matlala, were you involved?
I was in the bid adjudication committee.
Umhlanganisele or hambe yonke into straight?
And Maz Nokmaz,
If bomhla bekubonakale something where ukuthi uhlanganisele or something, bozo pick up at what stage? Or have you picked up such?
no, I have not picked up such. It is expected of any police officer when they pick up issues of criminality, they must report and they must open a case. I have not picked up any. Hence, I have not opened any case.
So are you saying kahle right now at this stage, Kate Matlala got that tender fairly?
I cannot vouch on that. I am aware, though, that there were irregularities in the evaluation process, and I cannot ignore that. But as for whether there was somebody that assisted, I have no information at my disposal.
In your department, these pickups that you found, these findings that you found, are they part of your responsibilities to find, or they were found out somewhere else? Because nguzwa ngathi you're saying in your space he did very well. The tender was awarded very well in your space, in your understanding.
In my environment, in terms of whether we have picked up whether there were irregularities, I can confirm that we didn't pick up any irregularities. The internal audit audited and picked up the irregularities in terms of this tender.
So if it is like that, as you say it, whose head must be on the block?
I would have to wait for the audit report.
Asibuyele emuva baba, sorry kancane.
Yeah.
Whose head must be on the block?
As I've indicated, I would have to wait for the
Okay,
audit
okay,
report.
okay,
The
okay.
determination.
Man kancane mfowethu. Let me, please, African people, help. The question is, what are you going to do? The question is, whose head must be on the block? Your head or somebody's head?
I operate in a collective, and I believe that in that collective, with the information that we provided, we were correct. We just need to be in the position to justify, to find reasons why the evaluation process was transgressed. And then that investigation will then determine who needs to take accountability. Accountability must be placed on someone.
Okay, I need to ask you this question. Please state your name on record.
My name is Molefe Isaac Fani.
Do that exactly. Whose head must be on the block?
We would have to probe.
Lolo, mana but asiyenzi belula. Whose head must be chopped should we find out ukuthi it was not done correctly? Who must be, whose fault is it? Ubani emele simcharge?
From where I am, Honorable Chair, members of the Bid Evaluation Committee.
Members.
Yes.
And when does it get to be you? When does it get to be you who must be chopped?
If I have transgressed
So in this
and
regard,
I have not exercised my responsibilities.
oh, okay. Help me here. I'm not. Chair, Yakulu? I see your light is on, Chair.
Yeah, I'm warning you.
Or time. Anyakwazi Chair, masengidibha in. Ayifuna ukungivimba. Ngiyadlala Chair,
I'm
ngiyadlala.
warning you. You have 4 minutes left.
Thank you, Chair. No, what I'm trying to get to here is this. You see, Mfethu, South Africa is suffering from leaders who don't want to take accountability. And if departments fail, there's chopping of players down there, but never the heads. So I want to know in this regard, if a department fails to pick up a tender of such amount, which has a whistleblower shot and killed kabuhlungu, why must it not be the heads, your head that must be chopped? Why must it be somebody out there? Maybe say to me, it must be you and your team. Can it be that?
I am accountable for
Would you advocate
for
for that?
closing the gaps that have been identified in the process. In as far as taking accountability for the bit that is not evaluated properly, either fraudulently or otherwise, which the forensic investigation has to determine, and then we will then place responsibility with regards to that. But in as far as the exercise that I have done, assistance me at that time, I would not take that accountability for now. But I do take accountability for the gaps that have been identified in the process, and I will definitely close those gaps.
And if we find out that those gaps are vital, senzani ngawe? If we find out that those gaps that you are talking about caused problems, they've destroyed people's life, they've also made people to die or be killed, if I may say. Senzani ngawe? What must we do ngawe?
I have to indicate that I have indicated in my submission that we have made sure that the procurement policy that we put in place has been vetted and has been reviewed by the policy committee. The reason for that is to make sure that all angles that could be problematic in terms of governance and